Pokemon professors are known as skilled researchers and are experts when it comes to Pokemon. Each professor studies a certain aspects of the Pokemon world, and their research reflects the region they live in. Now, this video will only focus on the 5 main professors from the Pokemon universe. So, let's start with Professor Oak. According to Professor Elm, Samuel Oak studies the relationships between Pokemon and humans. Now, this is also the main theme for the first generation of the Pokemon games. As young trainers create special bonds with Pokemon, there are those who exploit Pokemon for their own gain. An example of that would be Team Rockets, whose main focus is to steal and then sell rare Pokemons. This theme has been an important aspect to the series, and since Professor Oak's main focus is this topic, he is the most well-known professor out there, and because of this, he is also in charge of the National Pokédex. The next professor is Professor Elm from the Johto region. Elm is the only professor who does not introduce the player to the Pokemon world. His specialty is the study of breeding patterns and interactions between Pokemon. Now, this field of study reflects the introduction of the breeding mechanics in the second generation. Gen 2 was also where the Pokemon gender was officially implemented to correspond with the breeding technique. It was also discovered that even though genderless Pokemon can breed, it is impossible to breed legendary Pokemon. The third professor is Professor Birch from the Hoenn regions. His specialty is the study of Pokemon habitats in correlation with human existence. Now, just like Professor Oak, the topic Professor Birch studies is also the theme of the third generation of the game, and that is nature. Groudon, Kyogre, Land and Sea is the main focus for Gen 3. Also, the conflict between Team Aqua and Team Magma reflects the necessity of balance and the diversity of weather effects and natural environments. The fourth professor is Professor Rowan from the Sinnoh region, and his area of interest is the study of Pokemon evolutionary patterns. Being an evolutionary biologist, his main focus is the nature of evolution, how it came about, how it changed Pokemon, and the reason for its occurrence. Even though Pokemon evolution was introduced in Gen 1 before the introduction of Professor Rowan, his studies goes beyond the basic evolution methods and looks into the origin of it. Now, the theme for Gen 4 conflicts with Professor Rowan's research because Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum's main focus is the mythology of the Pokemon world. But Professor Rowan considered these myths as valuable research materials because he is someone who is open-minded to all theories. One of the myths Professor Rowan researched upon talks about how Pokemon and people were originally the same species. Over time, some of these creatures split apart from the rest and evolved into humans. The next professor is Professor Juniper from the Untitled region. Juniper is the first female professor in the main games, and her specialty is the study of Pokemon origins in relations to mythology. Now, the origin she seeks is the truth, and the relation she seeks is ideal. The battle between truth and ideal is one of the main conflicts in the Untitled region because of a powerful myth about Reshiram and Zekrom. It is said that Reshiram and Zekrom used to be a single Pokemon but split into two because Reshiram sided with the truth while Zekrom sided with ideal. The concept of truth versus ideal divided many groups of people in the Untitled region, and it makes sense for the professor of that region to follow both ideas. Alright, that's all for this video. I'll be back with another video soon, so subscribe and stay tuned.